and welcome to The Joy of Editing with Dave Kelly. This is episode number 27 of my TOPAZ Studio 2 Creative Toolbox series. On today's episode, I'm making this pop art flower. I'm going to be using some filters I've been using in recent tutorials, the AI Remix filter, the Impression filter, and I'm going to throw you a curve today by using the curve filter, all inside of TOPAZ Studio 2. So without any further ado, let's get started. I'm starting out as I usually do inside of Photoshop. Now I went ahead and created a duplicate of the background layer and called it TS2 Creative Toolbox because next I'm going to come up to my filter menu and launch TOPAZ Studio 2 and we will get started. Now here we are inside of TOPAZ Studio 2. I'm going to come up to Add Filter and come down to the AI Remix filter, give it a click and open it up. I'm going to start out in the high. If you recall from a recent tutorial I made about the AI Remix filter, I find if you work in the high style strength, I think you get better results, I think. Sometimes I will go to the medium and the low, but I always like to start out in the high now because it gives me a better understanding of what the particular painting style is going to look like on the image. And on this particular image, I have a painting style in mind, but doesn't that look cool right there? Now that's a piece of pop art right there, and I could say this is done, but I was experimenting, and it's a lot of fun to experiment, and that's part of the joy of editing is clicking on different filters. You click these on and you say, hey, what's Autumn Dreams look like? Now, it takes it a few seconds to render in the high because it's using artificial intelligence. And that looks pretty cool. And you can click on different ones here, like let's try Backroad Bliss. You gotta love Backroad Bliss, right? Okay, yeah, it's not thrilling me so much, but remember you can take like the opacity and you can pull the opacity back. And now it starts to take on a really cool look, and I kind of like that right there. But let me go ahead and pull the opacity back up. But through my experimentation, I ended up with this one called Baby Blues. And at first impression, I say, wow, that is pop art. You know what? I don't like the background here. I don't like what's happening in the background. So I thought, you know what? I think I'll just mask it on the flower. But I think I'll also try pulling the opacity back. And I ended up pulling the opacity back to like around a 39. But this is where you really have to experiment. Now, remember, you're the artist and you got to take this artwork into your own hands and make it your own. Just don't accept just what TOPAZ give you. You have to create your own art out of it, okay? And I highly recommend that you experiment with things like play with your opacity, play with these different controls. But on this particular filter, the only thing I did was pulled the opacity back to 39, left it in a normal blend mode. I didn't touch anything else here. I did experiment with these adjustments, but I found they weren't really helping me much, so I left that go. And then I went ahead and came up and clicked on the Add Layer Mask here and went down and came to these three dots here on the layer mask and clicked Invert. And that just removes it from everything. And next I went ahead and clicked on Brush and took my transparency slider, drug it the whole way to the right till I had a white swatch here. And then I adjusted my radius size and my softness. And I'm going to use the Great Edge Aware technology, so I left that on. And I'm going to start just painting on my flower here. And just let that AI Remix filter show through. I'm just going to go around here and paint. And I love how you can see the overlay, let you know where you're painting. When you release off, you can see, oh, hey, that looks cool. I went ahead and kept filling in the rest of the flower. And I ended up with that. And I said, oh, I'm happy with this. Then I went on to this bloom over here. And I'm just going to go fast here. So it might be a little bit sloppy. So forgive me for that. But when you're doing this, you want to really take your time. So here we go. And then I'm going to paint on these stems here. So I'm going to make my radius a lot smaller. Somewhere around there. And just paint on this stem like so. Good enough. And on this stem right here. Good enough. And I thought, I love it. I love the background from the original image. But then I thought, what am I going to do next? And can you guess what I'm going to do next? I'm sure you can. I'm going to click Add Filter and come to the Impression filter. I love this filter. I use it all the time. It is super fun. Now let me take a look at my notes here and see what the heck did I do here. Well, I did use type 01 for the paint stroke. And let me see, what else did I do? I used number of strokes. You know, you have your choice of low, medium, or high. I'll show you high. Here's high. Here's medium. And here's low. But I ended up with low, and I thought, yeah, that's a good starting point. And then I went down to the texture area right here. And I do this a lot if you watch my tutorials, and change my background type from solid to original. And if there's any flex going through the image here, you'll see the canvas underneath it. That solves that problem. And in this particular case, I don't want to see any flex showing through. The next thing I started to do was to play with my brush size. So, you know, like I'll move it to the right. I'll move it to the left, see what it's doing. And I ended up with, what was my number here? I ended up with a 30. So let's go to 30, 31. Not much change there, but here's where the change really started to take place. When I went to the paint volume, now this is a slider I don't use a whole lot, but on this particular image, it really helps out because watch what happens when I start to move it to the right. See what's happening in the background here? And I thought, oh, I'm loving this. I love these paint strokes in the background here. I think they look really awesome. And then I started to play with it, and I decided to keep pulling up on that slider. And I went the whole way up to the right. And I thought, man, that looks really good. Now, I might just back it off a little bit in hindsight, and maybe right around like an 80. I want it pretty strong, but I love what's happening back here. These strokes just appeared out of nowhere, and I thought, man, that is really cool. I really can't stress enough how important it is to play around with these different sliders because, you know, if I wouldn't have pulled that paint volume up, I would have never got this effect and I would have never known about it. So experimentation really, truly is the key. And then the last thing I did was took the paint opacity and drug it to the right and watch my flower petals. See how they start to take on a more painterly quality to them. See, let me pull it back the whole way and now I'll pull it up. And I used a good bit here. What did I use? Around a 78 or an 80, somewhere around there. Let's go with an 80. But I like that. I think that really helps a lot. Now I'm just going to left click with my mouse in any area in here in the image right here and see the before and the after. Looking really good. What do you think? Please leave comments and questions in the comments section below. I'd really love to hear from you. And now here's something I want to show you. Go ahead and start playing around with different stroke types. Now I'm using type 1. Now let me go to type 2. And when I do, notice the different looks we get when we do this. You know, that looks really cool. And I may say, you know, it's like a more Van Gogh style. And I really like that. But let's try 03. And with each stroke change, I get happier and happier and more confused and more confused. And I say, oh my gosh, there's so many wonderful things here. Which one am I going to finally use? And I finally tell myself, I'm going back to 01. But isn't it fun to experiment? And now, folks, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for me to throw you the curveball, and I'm going to come up to Add Filter and click on Curves. And all I'm going to do here is come to this point of the curve right here, this section right here, click, and it puts a little dot there, and I'm going to drag down. And watch when I do, see how the image starts to get a little bit more, a little darker actually. And it starts picking up more color. Now, I don't want to go too crazy there, but I'm just going to go like this. And I'm like, that looks really cool. Let me click the eyeball here. Here's the before, and here's the after. So you may want to keep it light and airy, like without the curves, like this. Or you may want that extra color and a little more contrast, I'd say. But I'm like, yes, that is it. I am happy, and I think I am done. So I went from here and came to here. What do you think? And now I interrupt this broadcast to give you a pro tip, and that is come to Add Filter, and at the end, click on Basic Adjustment, because the basic adjustment is basic but very good because you have all these different controls. Exposure, if your image needs to go lighter, you can lighten it or darken it. You can add a little extra clarity. You can adjust your shadows and highlights. But you also have saturation, black level, white level, and you have temperature and tint. But you might say it's a little too much saturation, so I can take that saturation slider and ease it off a little bit. Or I might say I want a little more saturation. In my case, I think I want just a tiny little bit of extra saturation. And when I say tiny, I mean like 0.02. And now I am totally happy. So what I'm going to do is come up here and click accept, and that sends us right back into Photoshop. And here we are in Photoshop. So I can click on this eye before and after. Now remember, you always have the opacity slider here, so you can take it and ease back a little bit if you want to let some of the original image show through. And you know what? I might just do that. I might just ease it back just a little bit. Actually, I'm easing it back a good little bit, and that is 66%. And I like it. So again, here is the before. And here is the after. Well, there you go. TOPAZ Studio 2, my creative toolbox. Now, I love TOPAZ Studio 2 because you can make really cool pieces of art with it, and I really enjoy it. Hey, if you enjoyed this tutorial today, please give it a like, share it with your friends. If you're not yet a subscriber, subscribe, click the bell notification icon. Then every time I upload a new tutorial, you'll be notified.